And thank y'all for helping us redefine what's cool. You're now listening to Carafesta Radio 99 Gems, the Berg New Morning Show, Tampa Pickups Club.
So it's Monday, right?
Monday, get money.
Oh, Monday. Oh, get money. Hey.
You can donate if you're watching on Facebook. Hit the like, hit the share, tag a friend. If you're driving, put on your seatbelt and drive safe.
Oh no, you was getting hyped and
Yeah.
like completely stopped in the middle.
Yeah.
That's how you do it?
No, I'm just playing.
So what's good this Monday?
Oh man, thank you. I think it's a lot going on good. It's a challenging time, but yeah.
Why is it so challenging?
I don't know. I think it's just it's the way the stars align. I think we in retrograde.
I think we're in something because it's something. Look,
we not in retrograde, y'all.
No, I'm just saying it's something.
Call us if you know. Is we in retrograde? I don't know because it's just something going on in the world, in the community, and we want to know what's going on. How you feeling?
I keep saying like 2023 start out like kind of for me. But yeah, it did. Like, it really did. Yes, but what I'm thinking is that like
what you thinking?
Trouble don't last always.
That's real. That's a song, ain't it?
No, it is. I know. And that I made a post. I shared a post, right? Shannon Liggins actually had posted it, and I like what she said. Let me go to it really quick because I don't want to mess it up because I felt like it was just such a powerful message. And it said, become addicted to the feeling that life always work out in your favor.
Oh man, powerful.
Because a lot of times we think stuff is working out
against us, but it's really working in our favor.
It is working in our favor.
I was just telling somebody, I'm glad that we're talking about this. I was just speaking with somebody about the power, right, of transforming challenges into opportunities, right? Power of turning a bad time into a good time, right. No matter what's going on, no matter how hard times are hitting you, but transferring that negative energy into something positive, finding a positive pursuit, finding something to channel that energy. You know what I mean? Because it is in the air.
It really is in the air. Now, if you know anything, is energy is transferred. It's never destroyed.
Yes.
So you know what I mean?
Scientists. Go ahead.
No, but energy is transferred and not destroyed.
Yeah, true.
And so, like, if you wake up negative, you know what I mean?
You transfer the negativity.
You transfer it all the way through your house. You know what I mean?
Don't save yourself. Do not save yourself out the house. Save the house and then you wonder why you got to leave.
Right, because you're the negative energy.
You are the weakest link.
Right, but it's how your perspective on life,
right? That's right. How you flip it,
and how you flip it, and then you're either the glass is always half full or always half empty. For people, they don't usually.
What if I don't drink out of glass? Don't worry about it.
You know what? So you want me to tell you? There you go. So if you don't drink out of glass, you know what you're telling me.
No, but finest crystals.
Well, then you're telling me that your glass is half.
No, I'm telling you, I ain't got no glass. We only drink out of crystals.
That's still a crystal glass.
Crystal ain't glass. So, all right, you half cup full, you got a half a cup of coffee, and you don't know whether to drink or pour it out.
So, yes, when I look at it, I be like, ooh.
What to do with this?
Yeah, my coffee is half full. Look. But no, honestly, it's the perspective on everything. And so, like, just looking at life and what I've learned in my years of living is how I don't care how bad we thought it was.
It wasn't as bad as you thought it was.
We got through it.
No matter how bad it was, it wasn't bad as you thought it was.
Right, you got through it. Even if it was the worst of the worst, you still got through it. Right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
I want to go ahead and give a couple shout outs for this morning. It's Money Making Monday. Big shout out to everybody making money.
And it's Aquarius season. So, big shout outs to our Aquarius. Happy birthday,
the Aquaman.
Today is Kiosha's birthday. Happy birthday, Madison.
Madison, Kiyoshi,
Happy birthday, Barry. Happy
Barry.
birthday, JC.
Big shouts out to JC.
Yeah.
We got JC. Actually, we have JC Pritchard coming in.
Not that
Legacy
JC.
Week. I'm just kidding the game. It's a segue.
Okay, go ahead.
Talking about Legacy Week, and it's all about legacy, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So if you about that, y'all stick around and stay tuned for it. We got some good news. I was talking this Saturday.
Okay.
We went to the youth forum, the pop-up market at the youth forum with the One Community Grocery Co-op. Big shouts out to the One Community Grocery Co-op and the St. Petersburg Youth Forum doing big things. This weekend they had, a hands-on experience for the people. Get your hands dirty. You feel me? But big shouts out to urban agriculture, man, and people who growing their own food, man. People always talking about bad things, but
we do need to get back to it.
That's what they doing. You want a garden? You want a mini garden? Go to the youth forum.
Yeah, the youth forum.
You want to buy some groceries? Go to the One Grocery Co-op, One Community Grocery Co-op.
Where is it? Where is the One Grocery?
It's all over.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all over.
So is there like pop-up shops?
Yes, they have pop-up shops, and they just had a pop-up market at the St. Petersburg Youth Forum. You can go on the Facebook page and follow the One Community Grocery Co-op. People always talking about co-ops. Join a co-op, One Community Grocery Co-op. Like I said one time, big shouts out for the St. Petersburg Youth Forum for having that amazing event. And also this week, the story team came out to Child's Park and actually had the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on.
So let's talk about that right quick.
Okay, big shout out to Story.
Yeah, the Story 727.
Story 727 on Facebook.
A great organization.
Yes,
great. They're doing like amazing things.
Listen, they're doing some things that's so big. It's like the camera just turning so. They're doing some things that's so big, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I cannot state how amazing these men are. Big shouts out to Eric Jackson, Steve Money. We got Green, we got Gaines with them. So they got a good little team going on doing a big. And
thing. Not even the men, because what they do
is also I see him out there. His daughter, Eric daughter was out there.
Steve White.
Steve White was out there, yeah.
So yeah, like
out there.
It is a family
That's
thing.
Big.
And when we tell you is that like the kids came out of nowhere.
They did.
Like they literally came out of like nowhere.
And this is the funniest thing to me. How you was not going to kick no balls.
And I did.
You didn't.
But y'all didn't either.
Listen,
all the kids did the kicking.
Listen, the kids played the games. I actually filmed it. It was an amazing experience, man. Watching you get out there on the kickball and kick that ball. So the story team is going to take this all over the city. So it's not just Child's Park.
They do this.
Lake Vista. They're going to do it. They're going to do it all over. They're going to do that on Kimmel Park. And look, we plan to go to every trip to our plan to be there.
Okay, so they do this every Sunday.
Every Sunday. So if you have a young man or a young boy, young girl or whatever, bring them out.
Right, because the objective for them is to get as many youth involved in this. They get them away from the electronics.
Get them away from the BS.
Right, and then give them some discipline as far as showing them what respect look like. Telling them, because I mean, if you're out there, you see the youth being disrespectful, right? They cuss in front of you. They was
getting a little funky yesterday. Big shouts out to King Reno. Big shouts out to Eric Jackson. They put the youth in a chokehold, got them right. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a chokehold, but it's like a figure of speech. You know what I'm saying? How they brought the youth in and made them and brought them to be a part of it, participate in. Some of the young men were even captains.
Right.
And they picked the team. So I love the way they mixed it up and got those young men involved and turned their energy into leadership.
Right. Because again, what did you say? Transfer that energy into something positive.
Yeah, it was dope. I like how that happened.
Right. And then they feed the kids.
Yeah,
I did help feed the kids.
I had a little bit. I left before the food. No, I did.
Yeah,
Steve Money got us right.
You got some tea and left. But no, the food was really good. So they get food donated. Capital Grill, if you know anything about Capital Grill, it's a really expensive restaurant.
Yes.
They donate
Panera Bread. They had the donuts and the bread.
That was from Wawa's and Panera Bread. So they get Wawa's, Panera Bread.
Publix had a Publix pie there.
Yep, they do, because Publix donate to them. KFC donated the chicken.
The story team got amazing stuff going on, y'all. So follow them and make sure we gonna stick around and stay with them, because They're doing something amazing in the community.
And they're not just doing Sundays either. Sundays is the field day with the kids, but like they get food and they deliver it out like
for the families.
For the families. So
if you
need
families,
something, right? So they get the Wawa's breakfast sandwiches, because Wawa's can only keep it for so many hours. And then they have to disregard it, regardless if it's good or not. So they end up giving it to them. And then, I mean, if you don't have time in the morning to give your kids a hot breakfast,
damn.
You can take that, freeze them, and then put them in
so
the
microwave. That's one of the big things, man. If you have a freezer, you can take some of these bread products and freeze them, right, and preserve them until a later date.
Right, they give you bread, they give you pastries. I've got milk. Yeah. You get some beef, the tenderloin steak.
Tenderloin.
They get that and mashed potatoes. So I mean, it's a great little thing. So look out for Story 727.
Hey, yeah, man. So to continue on the positive and,
go ahead.
And the good news, this February 4th and 5th, we have the one and only Black Excellence Summit.
All right.
It's coming to the P-Tech and other locations brought to you. Well, it's gonna benefit the Barbershop Book Club.
All right. So Saturday, the 4th. You have the Career Expo, right? The Black Excellence Summit. Yes. So that will be the Career Expo at P-Tech. Right there, they will be doing resume writing or showing you how to do it.
Skills building, training, workshops, and more.
You will have real estate, so that if you're interested in buying a house, or you just need information about it, there you go. Mental health is so big in our community, and I love how it used to be taboo where we didn't talk about it.
Now we're talking about it.
Now we're talking about
it. Well,
that's
what
I mean.
Dope.
So that when we think about it, we can't keep on saying like, we don't because now we are. Yes. We're making mental health up front runner in our lives at this point, and letting us know that we need those mental checks.
Yes. So on the Black Excellence Summit on Beauty, Art, and Education, it will be taking part on February 4th
at P-Tech.
At 9 a.m. Pinellas Technical College, St. Petersburg. That's 901 34th Street, South St. Petersburg. That's 9 a.m. February 4th, and you will be having skills building, training, workshops, and more. Like Kiana said, there's going to be career coaching. You're going to have Agape career consultant. You're going to have Home Again consultants. You're going to have Technical Education LLC there. Bay First National Bank. We're also going to have this is going to be an amazing summit. So make sure you make it this 3rd annual Black Excellence Summit. Also, there is the gala,
which will be the 5th.
The gala will be on the 5th. The gala, this is amazing, y'all. Big shouts out to Aaron McFarley, T. Brown, everybody involved. Black Excellence Gala will be taking part
at USF.
At USF. So
St.Pete.
Now think about this, y'all. It's going to be a masquerade ball. You understand?
And tables are basically sold out, I heard.
Tables are sold out. If you don't have a table, you won't get one.
Oh man. But you know what? It's a great thing that it's sold out.
Oh yes, the 3rd annual is sold out.
Actually, this is the first gala.
This is the first gala.
Yes. And this is gonna continue, and it was a fundraiser for the Barbershop Book Club.
Real big. So, real big.
Right. So you're gonna get all the monies donated to that. If you know anything about the Barbershop Book Club, Tony Brown started that, and getting kids to sit in his chair and start to read to him. If they pick up the book and attempt to read, then they get a free haircut. Right, literacy is so important in our community. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Yeah, thank you, Black Excellence Expo. Be on the lookout for it. What else we got? What else you got? What we got?
Right, but then we skipped over the 3rd.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, we did. We said the 4th and the 5th.
Okay, well, go ahead.
You don't know what happens on the 3rd?
No. Oh,
yes, you do.
Is that what he said? She said?
Yeah. Oh, don't act like
he say, she say, happening Friday the 3rd at Urban Drinkery. This is a monthly. Now it's going to be on twice a month.
Right. In March, we're going to go into twice a month.
So
February,
she said,
yes.
starring the one and only Kiana.
Yes. And you never know who my guest host is going to be.
Who pulling up?
Jabar's going to be my guest host pretty soon.
One of these days.
Pretty
One
soon.
of these days. One of these days. I mean,
pretty soon.
I'm probably going to have slides on. You know what I'm saying?
You going to get real down?
I'll be real fly just for no reason. Why you fly? No.
So what I want to do is for everybody that's listening, if you have like some he say she say questions, send them in. Like send them in so I can we can throw them out there, and then that's how that happens there. I never know what we're going to talk about because I never know what the people want. So this is all about the people.
You know what the people want. We know what you want.
So this is coming up this weekend, so it's going to be a great week. Y'all are going to keep on hearing us talk about the Black Expo.
You're going to keep hearing talk about all the events.
And then today at 11, we have the state of the city. Our mayor is speaking.
Oh, yes. The state of St. Pete is today at 11 o'clock. And Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is going to be there.
Yeah, we're going to be in the building. We definitely want to see what's going on.
And banging, swinging, and jingling.
Oh my gosh. And we're trying to see what we want to see what our mayor is coming up with for the gas plant district.
What you got? Oh yeah. So I want to really hear from the audience. What y'all think about the new development? What y'all think about the state of St. Pete? What's the state of St. Pete to you? Call in. What's the state of St. Pete to you?
727-637-2416.
That's 727-637-2416. Hey, so what you thinking about?
I'm kind of, it seems like we've been dealing with this for so long, but it don't seem like it's been that long. So I feel like we need so much more time because this is such a big decision that
we need more time.
I think we need more time.
I agree.
To make the right decision.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's too big of a decision to be rushed so bad.
Right, because it's 86 acres that's out there that that's unheard of. Most people don't have 86 acres. I mean, it's somewhere downtown.
One of the biggest developments in America.
Right, and so whoever gets this, it's like so and there's who the Rays has a bid in it, right?
Oh yeah, the Rays got a bid.
And then what's the other company?
It's a bunch of groups.
I mean, but
so don't
one more.
Listen, I'm not. Listen.
Ain't nobody supporting. I'm just.
I know one thing. I do know, right? And two things for sure. The community is owed a great debt, for that land.
Do you know the name? Do you know another name?
I know that the community is owed another debt.
No. Just say yes or no.
Are you interrogating me, Rob? Well,
yes.
Yes, I know the other name.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Throw another name.
I think it's like 3+.
Okay.
Or R+, 3+ or something.
Okay.
It's Sugar Hill.
Okay, that's
and then it's Green.
Okay, so
then it's Gas Light District.
Right. Okay.
It's Gas Plant District Associates.
Right.
Right.
Good morning, Fancy Nancy.
Fancy Nancy, how you doing?
No, but like Sugar Hill, people are really
Sugar Hill, baby. No. Sugar Hill, baby.
I need him to be serious at some time.
Listen, no, seriously. This is a very big development, and the community needs to be more involved. I don't think there's been enough community voices on this issue, especially not enough other descendants and the people of the quote unquote gas plant area. You know what I'm saying? Okay, she don't know what I'm saying. But listen, I keep telling you know what I'm saying. You're supposed to tell me, yeah, that's like a period. Okay.
No, but I'm thinking to myself, like.
No, know what I'm saying? It's like a question mark.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Question mark. See, you ain't playing the game.
Somebody come save me. Anybody. Everybody. Yeah, but no, I mean, because, some people think that, like, the city should just own the property and not give it to a developer. So
I agree with you. The city should be the master developer and develop the land and maybe hire one of those groups to, so that the community itself can realize the profits and the benefits that come from these huge developments. Because right now, as it looks, the community itself is on the second tier or the second thought. And
so my thought in it, because we don't have, because this decision has to be made, right? Is that in a perfect world, and this is Kiana, this is the views of Kiana and not of 99 Jen, is that the city owns it. And then if you then decide that you want to sell it to a developer, it goes back into a vote at that point. Once we give it to a developer or let them take it, then how do you take it back?
My question is, how can you give something to a developer without a referendum or without some type of vote? So I don't feel the developer should decide whether he wants to buy it or not. Like that wouldn't, like for me, that wouldn't be the way I would approach the conversation. You know, I wouldn't be asking, it wouldn't be a question mark and asking, okay, what's your offer to me? Because that ain't usually how it's done. You know what I mean? It's usually done in other ways. You know, there is called appraisals, right? There's an appraisal coming in for the whole Tropicana site, and it's actually going to, the appraisal actually is going to come in the day after the today. So the appraisal, so if a decision is made today, the appraisal will come out tomorrow.
Well, then that don't make any sense.
Listen, I didn't say it did. I just told you what the way it's coming.
I know, but it don't make
I'm not asking. See, and that's what the people's supposed to say. We waiting for you, caller.
I'm the people.
Okay, well, shout out to the people.
I think I'm the people.
But no, I'm dead serious because, you know, without a proper evaluation of the value of the land, you know, we don't really know what we're getting or what we're giving away. You know, it's like air tongue. You bidding cars you ain't got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
So 11 o'clock today, probably 12:30, we'll know.
We'll know what he's doing. So so here, 11 o'clock at City Hall.
At City Hall, pull up. Skirt. Pull up.
We're gonna take a break, and when we take a break, listen. I don't want to take no break.
Okay, go ahead.
I need somebody to come and bring him down. Just
all right.
Just two knots. I love the energy, but we need him down. Just like
two. Hold on. I still got more.
Okay, go ahead.
So we know this is gonna be a big decision. So this conversation is happening. We need to start having some community conversations about this. We need to start having open dialogue, you know, about the future because these developments.
We're not giving it away. That's just us talking because he said they're not giving it away.
Man, you going? Well, they ain't paying for it. Stop playing. They ain't paying for it. Okay. You recall in. They ain't paying for it. If you ain't paying for it, what is it? If you ain't giving me the proper price and going through the proper procedures, what am I doing? I'm giving it to you. If we don't get no proper what they call evaluation of the land, we got to get appraisals. Now, so if the appraisals are just coming in, we're talking about and we're making decisions without even having all the information on the table. That don't seem like the smartest thing to do. You would call in and tell me what you think. Shit, how many houses you bought without the appraisal? How many you sold without the appraisal? I don't know. I'm just saying, it don't go like that.
727-637-2468.
On the phone with the red.
You know who this is. Yubi.
You know the headphones. I had the headphones all day.
Good morning, Yubi.
Yubi.
I can't. I'm trying to.
Okay, I'm coming.
He's been like this since 6 something this morning since we got up. Like he is on 10, I really need him.
Yeah, I'm coming down. I'm bringing it down.
No, I really need him at like a good 5.
She told me to take a break.
Yeah, I'm about to. But you are right, is that they're supposed to develop it and it's not, but I do know some people are putting in there the option to buy later on. So right now is that, so they're not, at this point, it's not on the table for somebody to purchase the land, but I know that some people are putting that on in their proposal and at some time that they could purchase it if it's beneficial to the parties.
And from the knowledge that I got from it, the developers are going to try to sell tracts of land to help pay for the development. So that's like a lot of these developers aren't necessarily what they call cash solvent. So they're not necessarily going to have the money to pay for all this stuff themselves. They're going to put it back on the block and sell it out to other people.
So are they gonna rent it out or just?
I mean, it's up to them. Once we sell it to them and give it to them, it's up to them.
No, but we're not selling it to them.
The paperwork. Some people say they want it.
Yeah, on
some
the
of them, everybody different. Everybody's thing says something different.
Oh, you can't hear you. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
The federal dollars, yeah. Yes, sir. Appreciate you for that, man. Yeah, you're moving too fast. That's right. The whole B-52 fake out.
Thank you, Yubi.
Thank you, Yubi, man. Appreciate you for your support, man. Holler back at us.
No, so, I'm gonna be
so. Tell them what we're talking about first.
We're talking about the state of the city.
Yep.
It's happening today at 11 a.m. at City Hall. Yep. Everybody is welcome. Pull up. So I will tell you this: if you are going, you know parking is terrible down there. You can go to the Coliseum and park your car there and catch the ride over there if you're serious.
Or you do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna park at the courthouse and walk over.
Well, either way, it might not be no parking over there.
I'm just saying. I'm just giving you my plan.
Yeah. Okay. So there's option. Now I'm gonna tell you my worry here too, because you be said like the guy from 31 said that like he has the money to fund it himself without any
listen, that's hard to believe.
No, but I don't. Let me tell you what I'm gonna hold on. Okay. So my worry is that whoever get it don't have enough money and they're banking on other people to get it, and then we have a site that's unfinished.
Yep, or half
developed because people didn't believe in their visions or whatever the case may be. They didn't get what they need, and then we're undeveloped.
Or they didn't want to redevelop a gas plant.
Right, or however the case may be. And those are things that we need to think about when we're looking at whoever's going to be the developer there. And then people who have developed something this large. Now I've seen people who haven't done stuff and came out and did great things, right? You don't have to be in the field forever to do something great, but you do want to make sure whoever we do give this to is, gonna really make sure that it represents St. Pete as a whole and the community that it took over, if that makes sense.
I mean, I think that dog has left the track or whatever they call it because the community ain't involved right now, and this is a very important step. And I hear a lot of these groups say they got people from the gas plant, they got this, they got that, but the real reality is not many people in the community is talking about this development. Not many people in the community is even paying this any attention because they're surviving. They're dealing with their housing.
Well, you want me to be honest with you. It's not that they're surviving. It's the people who's invested in the community that in politics are the ones that's in there and know the value and how important it is for us to be involved. Listen, regardless if economy was good or not, if you're not interested in it, you're not looking for it. We scream, we go out there, people are out there putting it out there. The truth is, some people don't care until it benefits them. And so it ain't that. How often do we hit the streets and tell people about the stuff that's going on? And a lot of them are not in us, don't see the benefit of what we're saying.
So, and I listen, and I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, it's not necessarily our job to go on the streets and take this out. You know what I mean? It's these other people with vested interests with billions of dollars they finna make, right? So it's in their benefit for us not to know. So that's why they ain't got those street teams out there telling people. You get what I'm saying? Just like they're saying they're rushing it because it's something. This is gonna be 15 to 30 years of our life. They're gonna be building up. Carla, what you got? What you got? In the building. What up? What up, Poppy? Okay. Hmm. In the know.
Agreed.
I got something.
Agreed. And I think that like this is I think both of us is right. I think some people
I agree with you all the time.
I think we're both right, but there, as much as we want people. Oh, I'm gonna hang up because you are kind of low. So I'm gonna
Holla back.
In a second.
He ain't say nothing.
No, he coming in.
So look,
no,
go.
Okay. So before you say it, good morning. I forgot. Go.
So I want y'all to stay tuned in. We're gonna keep talking about these hot topics. We got a guest coming in for the Legacy Week, and we're gonna keep talking about.
Oh, and you changed the subject. I thought you had something to say about this.
I do.
Well,
I got a lot to say about this.
Well, keep on talking. We got a couple of minutes. Why don't you
So my number one thing, with a lot of community issues, if you look back to when the gas plant was being redeveloped, they were saying the same thing. Not enough community input. Not enough community input, not enough this, not enough that. And so what I'm saying is we're seeing the same patterns continue, right? And what if we don't disrupt or break these patterns, we're gonna have the same outcomes.
But I'm gonna say this is when you're looking at it, Jabbar, how often have we been talking about this? We've been talking about this the whole time.
Well, we unicorns, you know
but
that.
So then we are breaking the pattern.
We are. We're working on it.
So you know what I mean? Like, we're breaking. We're breaking the pattern, right? And then there's still some people that won't receive.
We're working on it.
We're working. Anything that change what we typically don't do is breaking it.
Okay, caller, what you got?
Caller, introduce yourself. Good morning, Damien.
What's up? What's happening? Man, slide through it. Pull up.
You're always welcome.
All right, thank you, man. Thank you for calling in. So I think one of the best things that we can do in the community right now, especially in this important time, is get the word out, start talking, because it's not too late, right? It's never too late, and we can impact change one by one individually, and we can impact change all together.
Okay, so I'm gonna like read some of the comments and paraphrase them a little bit. LaDonna Butler basically said, people spent their time voicing their opinions only to have them dismissed, ignored, and discredited. I think that is also true.
Ooh,
But if
that's
we,
powerful.
but
I
I'm
didn't
gonna,
even think about that. End,
but that is true.
shout
But
out Dr. Butler.
right, but I'm gonna tell you, and then you be say, they're ignoring the community. But I will tell you, but we
Wow.
have to stick together. This is
That's right.
about the togetherness. One person who speaks is gonna be ignored, dismissed, and discredited. But millions of people that speak, they can't ignore that, discredit it, or anything. But that's the one thing is that we can't have these small groups working and not working together.
Okay, okay.
You
Talk
know
that
what I
talk.
mean? So
Talk that
we
talk. We talking about Tropicana Field. We talking about the state of St. Pete, and we're gonna come back. We got democracy now coming up.
oh
I appreciate
okay.
you. I appreciate you.
Okay, yes, it is time for democracy
It's time for
now.
democracy now.
Keep all y'all great thoughts going. Okay,
Holla,
while we're
friend.
so this is what I need you to do. While we're on this 6 minute break, I got this. Don't touch my stuff. Stay over there. You see what he doing? He gonna touch my stuff. All right. So yeah, I need you to like the page, comment, tag a friend, and then send some stars. And we will be back.
They talking about touching your stuff. I was trying
Yeah.
to make the button. Let me make the button.
He's gonna mash the button and he don't know what he's doing because he is doing something different. All right, we'll be back.
Hello, I'm Gabe Ortiz, and this is WEDU Arts Plus. Based out of St. Pete, the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is a morning radio show about hip-hop life and urban culture. Meet the hosts who inform and empower their listeners.
I'm Jabbar Edmond. I go by Mr. Edmond. My role, I'm a host and I'm co-founder.
My name is Brother John Muhammad, Your Brother John, YourBrotherJohn.com. And my role on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is host or co-host.
I just go by Kiana. Sometimes you may hear the guys call me Q. I may say Q just depending on my personality that day. And I'm the female of the crew. I think I keep balance when you look at the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. So that's my role.
And I'm Bruce Moore Jr. A lot of people do know Bruce Moore Jr., obviously being born and raised here and going to school here, but there's many more people that know Reno.
St. Pete is small, and so the good things and bad things that come with a small city, you know, everybody knowing each other, of course, would be one of the pluses.
My neighbors were not only just my neighbors, they became my family.
Trying to put that back now, like really getting back to a place where we know our neighbors and we look out for each other. It was a St. Pete that existed, you know, south of Central, and then there was another St. Pete that existed north of Central and downtown. It was a struggle then, and I think it's still, you know, somewhat a struggle for black people in the city of St. Pete.
Even with every step of progress we make, it's still a struggle to, implement that progress.
Did y'all hear about the weed college, the first cannabis college
In Orlando.
Talk to him, Sean Soprano.
Yeah, I've been looking at it.
This is serious, y'all.
Over a year ago.
If you got the charges,
Medical
go and
marijuana.
get the degrees, King. You got years of experience, man. It ain't like you come into a classroom with no data.
Elon Musk said that a drug dealer knows how to manage and run a business better.
I can't believe that.
The real facts, man.
I'm all about education. But what I'm saying is that we carry this industry on our backs.
The way we started the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, Jabbar approached me about what could we do, how can we do something together, and then an opportunity to promote Amendment 4. Amendment 4 is the, voting rights restoration to returning citizens. We were able to negotiate a deal where we got like 30 minutes on the radio at 99 Jams to talk about, Amendment 4 and other local, policies.
Share it.
Violence and
And then you could get the
far-right
head
coalition
start.
government to diminish judicial powers. What we are trying to tell this government is that the need for democracy, the need for peace, the need for prosperity should be the backbone of what we are here for.
We try to be here like 6:45.
A democratic state.
I did.
Sometimes we watching the news, so she'll be on 5, 6 in the morning. But you know they got to get started and get dressed and make it whatever out for that.
Yeah.
I had a friend. We had a friend here who was on the morning anchor. She moved to Orlando. She said that her rhythm was so off because when they got done, like for example at 12 o'clock, she got to go to sleep for the next 8 hours. You know, when everybody else is running around doing errands and take care of stuff.
So I say like I get up around like 5 every morning, even if I don't want to. And then once I leave here at 9, by 11 o'clock, I probably got more stuff done than most people did in their whole day. And then like 8, by like 12, 1 o'clock, like I call it my old lady nap. It's time for me to. It's time for me to go ahead and.
That's funny. That's what my wife and I get up. We do everything. Run errands, clean up, grocery, whatever, and be done. And then everybody else wake up talking about what you up to. We done. We done today.
As the bomb ripped through the mosque during noon prayers. Authorities fear people may still be trapped in the rubble.
Can y'all still hear us now?
Inside a high security
your boxes, you know what? See, this is why.
Buildings, the city's police headquarters, and counterterrorism department. This comes after government forces and the Pakistani Taliban ended their ceasefire in November. No one's claimed responsibility for the attack, which was the worst since last March, when a suicide bombing at a Shiite Muslim mosque killed at least 58 people. The Islamic State claimed responsibility for that
attack.
Lucky
you're not talking about nothing.
They say they can hear. This headline contains graphic
descriptions. But I got the mic stuff. I don't
violence.
understand.
The Memphis Police Department said Saturday it's disbanding its Scorpion unit.
It's because whatever you did, when you
killed
came in here and did what you did,
the announcement came one day after the police department released the video
I like to the camera. I didn't take none of that shit.
5 officers relentlessly
I'm telling you, I ain't took all that shit.
29-year-old just launched from his home. The officers who now face murder charges pepper sprayed, tased, and beat Nichols while shouting threats in a series of commands. Nichols died 3 days later of kidney failure and cardiac arrest. Medics failed to administer assistance to Nichols for at least 15 minutes after they arrived on the scene. 2 EMTs have been suspended pending an investigation. Nichols' stepfather has called for the paramedics to face criminal charges, calling them just as guilty. Protesters took to the streets of Memphis and other cities across the country following the video's release. In Memphis, organizers welcomed the disbanding of the Scorpion unit, but said much more is needed.
Hello, I'm Gabe Ortiz, and this is WEDU Arts Plus. Based out of St. Pete, the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is a morning radio show about hip-hop life and urban culture. Meet the hosts who inform and empower their listeners.
I'm your boy Edmund. I go by Mr. Edmund. My role, I'm a host and I'm co-founder.
My name is Brother John Muhammad, Your Brother John, YourBrotherJohn.com. And my role on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is host or co-host.
I just go by Kiana. Sometimes you may hear the guys call me Q. I may say Q just depending on my personality that day. And I'm the female of the crew. I think I keep balance when you look at the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. So that's my role.
And I'm Bruce Moore Jr. A lot of people do know Bruce Moore Jr., obviously being born and raised here and going to school here, but there's many more people that know Reno.
St. Pete is small, and so the good things and bad things that come with a small city, you know, everybody knowing each other, of course, would be one of the pluses.
My neighbors were not only just my neighbors, they became my family.
Trying to put that back now, like really getting back to a place where We know our neighbors and we look out for each other. It was a St. Pete that existed, south of Central, and then there was another St. Pete that existed north of Central and downtown. It was a struggle then, and I think it's still, somewhat a struggle for black people in the city of St. Pete.
Even with every step of progress we make, it's still a struggle to, implement that progress.
Did y'all hear about the weed college?
For live on 99.1 Jams, the Bird Character Radio. I am Mr. Edmond.
And this is Kiana.
And welcome back. We have a very, very special guest today. And we're talking about Legacy Week. If you don't know Legacy Week been going on. Well, I'm let the esteemed JC Pritchard. How you doing?
Hey man, how y'all doing?
We blessed. You got a lot going on. Tell us more about what's new and what's going on.
This is the 8th year of Legacy Week. We had 2 years virtual due to COVID, and we are glad to be back in person this year. And this year is more relevant than past years, I think, because the way that black bodies around this country are maimed, destroyed, and killed. And so we celebrate our culture, our history, our experiences first week of February every year. And so we're looking forward to this week and this year's Legacy Week.
Yes. Okay, let me y'all got a little Dubai. Go ahead. This is what happened when you're live.
Yes, and we're gonna stay live.
You get it live in effect.
So I know the last couple of years y'all been on Zoom. But before y'all went to Zoom, y'all was doing it at the Empath Health Building.
The Empath was one of the first sponsors, and we used their multi-purpose room, which again, because of COVID, that space now is for the dealing with the global pandemic. So that space now has totally been changed, and so we've moved to 2 beautiful museums. Last year, the Woodson Museum, and this year we're at St. Pete History Museum downtown on the water. Looking forward to that Saturday. So that's our world has changed, the past few years for a lot of reasons, and so still the mission is the same, the vision is the same about celebrating us.
So I want to definitely, because we do have, like you was just saying, we are dealing with another unarmed black man, Tyreek. He was just killed. The video just came out this weekend. Actually, I was just at the skate park here because Tyreek was a skater and a photographer. The Dream Defenders just had a candlelight visual last night. So yes, another sad occasion, and it keeps going on. It keeps happening. So what's your thoughts on that?
Okay, I have not seen the video. I won't see the video. Again, maybe this is a great segue. Saturday, we're honoring 3 great residents of our community: attorney Lisa Brody, Teresa Jones, and Will Lawson. And I lift Will Lawson up because he is a gentleman who is in law enforcement, who is well respected in our community, and that's the kind of person that we need in law enforcement. The culture of law enforcement across this country has to change, and policing black bodies, resorting to violence for traffic stops, covering up for each other, is kind of something that we have seen so many different ways. That's why I can't watch the video. We've seen this so many different ways.
Yes.
Right.
We were just at George Floyd, and everyone made promises about their commitments to DEI, their commitments to social justice,
new policies,
new policies, and
we right back here again.
Almost 3 years later in March.
And so, to be honest, because we saw, you didn't see the video, but we know that it was 5 black men who killed this black man right here. And so it's not the color of the police officers, it's the officers itself. It's the shield that needs to change.
And I want to say it is the culture that protects this stuff, y'all.
That's what,
it's like you have bad actors who are often protected by the good actors, right? If that's a thing, because right now they're talking about also terminating the sheriffs who were on the scene, the EMTs who were on the scene, not just the police officers. So they're talking about spreading the charges to even more of the people who were on the scene because of the things they didn't do, the procedures that they didn't follow.
You know, one of the things about African American History Month and this Legacy Week being different is now we're again in Florida in a situation where our history, our experience is being watered down and removed. And that when you talk about the history of folks, whether black or white, harming black bodies, I mean, that's the history of the plantation, that's the history of slavery, that's the history. I mean, we do some stuff to each other. I mean, that's the whole there's a whole conversation we can have about gun violence, there's a whole conversation we can have on black and black crime, but at the end of the day, how do we treat each other? How do we move with each other? How do we love each other? I mean, there's something interesting going on now that our organization is going to be speaking of later. Something interesting that's happened with this development around the gas plant is that sexual assault has been brought up in the media, but no one said a word.
About what?
Sexual assault has been brought up among one of the partners in St. Petersburg's gas plant redevelopment, and no one said a word.
Whoa.
Well, get your Google machine. That means that you're not aware of it. Get your Google machine.
No, because I just want to be clear.
So what I'm saying is, as I'm being clear, is that we as clergy in this black church many times have looked the other way when it's come to mental health issues and when it's come to sexual abuse. And so I find it very interesting that our community, as we have these conversations around development and around history, have not had not one peep of a denial or an apology around the area of sexual abuse accusations. So there's a lot to talk about when we talk about the abuse of black bodies, the harm of black bodies, and how we deal with each other.
Yes, right. Yes, and how we correct it. And I'm glad, we have to start opening up and talking about the hard things.
I mean, the only way that you change is if you talk about the thing. So I always say the conversation that you avoid to have is the most important conversation that you need to address.
That's right.
There's a lot of stuff that needs to change. And I'm gonna say that. So we talk about black on black crime, but let's be clear that it's crime. It's white on white crime.
Yes, people crime. People on people crime.
Right. This is not just a black thing. This is
person on person.
This is a people thing, but they try to make everything like it's only us that's doing it. Right? No, it's not.
Oh, that's a tool of oppression, right? Making the victim, you know what I mean? Making the victim the assailant, or making the victim the one who's being punished. So as we continue to grow, like we said, we're going to be at the state of St. Pete today. We're looking towards the future, right? We need to have some conversations with our police department, right? There's some things that we need to get in front of. Big shouts out to Brother John Muhammad, Council Member Brother John Muhammad, Bruce, Reno Moore, and the whole team. They had a conversation, black and blue conversation, Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, the whole 8 Kings collective. Right, looking to get in front of some of these issues, right? Talking to the black officers, looking them in the eyes and saying, hey, we're human, you human, let's talk, right? Let's get to know each other. Let's build.
I always say, give us the same compassion that you give somebody that looks like you. Right?
What if you don't get it?
I'm dead serious right now. Because you see that at this point, our lives are not respected. Or they make it feel like they're feared. And you can put a black man and a white man, same bill, same thing, and the outcome is going to be different. So let's look at these officers. I think that they need to be charged. But look at George Floyd officers when they did it. Before
I hear what you're saying. They charged them.
They've been fired. The investigation didn't need to linger on immediately. We couldn't even march and bury him before they was already charged.
But is that the system correcting itself and working?
No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay. No, it's not. Because if we see this happen again, because we've seen other.
This is how they do black people.
We've seen other white officers do this after George Floyd, and we've seen how long this investigation took before they were fired, before the charges was filed, immediately this happened.
I want to say
so
this.
now you have to really look. It's the system that needs to be changed, and we talk about this all the time.
But I want to say this: all this happens in different localities, right? These are different chiefs of police. These are different prosecutors. These are different governments. So sometimes one is quicker to act and faster than others. Sometimes you have some people who are willing to do more because they charge these people with murder. Murder.
I think we have to give credit to the police chief.
That's what I'm talking about.
African American woman. She bust
their head.
Yeah.
Hey, caller, you have to mute your phone. You got too much noise. Caller, you got too much noise.
You got
too much noise,
it was
caller.
too much. You gotta,
Too much noise. But yeah,
sorry, had to hang up.
The police chief did act swift, right? And things like this. But I'm gonna tell you, there should have been no Scorpion Squad, right? These squads are known for beating up and doing the black community members wrong, right? And all over the nation, not just in Memphis, here in St. Pete. Right, we done had those same type of goon squads jumping out and beat you up if you run from them, and they act as if it's a surprise. But no, I'm from the streets, and it was a thing. They would say they would beat you down if you run. You run and I catch you, we're gonna beat you up. Like, are you serious?
Hello, caller.
Caller, if you're here, let us hear you.
I think it's Pensacola. We'll see you when you get in. If this is. Or call back because nothing's being said. We can't hear
you. So we're just talking about the state of St. Pete.
It's the state of the city.
Which
that's how we left the segment, and then we're going into the legacy
week.
Right. And we do. I mean, and it all tied into each other. You know what I mean? And uplifting our city, but having real hard conversations. And the thing is, it's not just having the conversations, because when you're talking without a solution, you're just talking. And you know what? We need to have solutions. Damn. We can't just keep on talking about the problem without a solution. I am a solution-based person. Yeah. Like, if there's a problem, how are we going to address it, and what do we need to do to change it? Is the question.
I think you gave me a good idea, because I think one of the solutions is we have to have access to these resources. There's a lot of programs, there's a lot of stuff that don't touch the black community, right? Like the CRA, right? The CRA was written based on the poverty rates in South St. Pete, Leelman, and other areas. There's like 5 poverty pockets, right? So when the CRA rolled out and all the money started rolling out, the black people actually are getting less.
Well, let's talk about the CRA right quick.
All right.
It was supposed to benefit the south side of the community, right?
Low income.
But it did not do what it needed to do. It was really good to say that, hey, we're gonna put some money in there, but the CRA, let's be honest, it said that they matched whatever you put up there.
So you have to have money as an income requirement.
So let's say, because I looked at the CRA and started doing it. So when you look at it, if they were going to give you $50,000, you had to already spend $50,000 to get your money back. If I had $50,000, I wouldn't need yours. So if you really want to help me out, give me what I need to be successful. I'm not asking for no handouts, because I'll do the work, but the money is there.
Yeah, it's like a grab bag. It becomes like a grab bag.
Peace and light, y'all. I love to hear y'all echo the voices of the blacks from 1920s, 1930s. They were never asking for handouts. That was never a posture of the former slave to ask for handout. He had all the skills in the world, and all he wanted was a fair chance. He wanted an equal opportunity. You see what I'm saying? And if we're going to echo these same words verbatim 100 years later, then it's not achievable. As long as we keep this same posture of asking, we have to just go out there and just get it. You know what I'm saying? Because no one is going to redline our community and then help us develop a beautiful community. That's just backwards thinking. You know what I'm saying? And our communities were intentionally redlined. The CRA has been redlined. It has been the McDonald's on 4th Street has been intentionally taken out of it. Both hospitals have been intentionally taken out of it, because one thing we have to accept in these hard conversations is accepting the fact that we've been waged war upon. And when we act like we don't have any standing enemies, then we'll conduct ourselves this way in front of each other. You see what I'm saying? People intentionally keep opportunities from us. This is not a coincidence. This is what happens when we as individuals try to face people who are collective.
Okay, so I'm going to flip this on the other side of the pancake. The opportunities are there for everybody. We know they make it hard for us, but a lot of times I'm going to tell you what, I'm with you. but we also have to stand up and do the work ourselves. A lot of people, you don't think, like a lot of people complain and then not going out there to get it. We can't take those people out because again, we're the unicorns. Like we're going out there looking for the resources. We're out there getting it. A lot of people are not doing, because one thing St. Pete is full of resources. But go ahead.
So St. Pete is full of resources, but I want to be clear, right? The resources have always been segregated and kept out of the reach of a lot of black communities.
When we say,
hold on one
yes,
second.
Sir.
Hold on 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Because what we can't do is feel like, oh, we're not doing the work. Like we built this city, right? We built the United States of America, right, with our hands. And then to look at us and say, oh, you're not ready to do the work. Well, I'm telling you, 95, 80% of us ready to rock and roll. But the problem is a lot of it, we work hard.
95%. Of us is ready to rock and roll.
You can't even make them comfortable getting rich. So how you think that they're gonna help us get rich? You know what I'm saying? When you put stuff in, let me tell you something. We're in these rooms, and when you put certain words in these paragraphs, they'll sit right there and say, "Oh, we can't take that out. That looks like it's gonna target too many black people." You see what I'm saying? And then now we have educated black people in the room sitting here trying to reword stuff with that education to not seem like it's gonna purely affect us. Mind you, all these attacks on our community were intentional. You know what I'm saying? Our women, when they want to target something, they do lunges, squats, and get shots. You know what I'm saying? But they know how to target the muscle. And we have to target our financial muscle the same way.
Let's pass it over there to JC. See what he got to say.
Heavy so.
One of the things, and Reno just brought a small man who came at me once. And again, I think that's why Brother John's out here. He knows he has my city council seat, but that's okay, Brother John. I'm running for District 9 next year. I'm going to be a candidate for District 9. Listen.
You heard it here first.
This is the thing. We all move different ways.
This is true.
And what we cannot do in our 400-year experience here in America is fall out. 8 years ago, me, Brother John, and Jabbar met right across the street at Maximum Mall, having the same conversation of some stuff that's manifesting now. The way we move may be different. I observe the way some people move and what they say and what they do. But at the end of the day, if you're not going to be for our community, and for our people, and for our legacy, if you're not going to leave a legacy, build a legacy, then you're doing harm to our community. It's the same kind of violence as a gun. And what the scripture says is that the power of the tongue is as murderous and as dangerous as a gun or a stick or a rock.
Yeah.
So the way we move in St. Petersburg, as we look at Legacy Week this year, which is the theme is Renaissance, that's why we're going to be spending most of our time on 22nd Street. But we move in certain ways with certain feelings, petty, shade, games. And at the end of the day, you have to look yourself in the mirror. You are accountable for the legacy you're leaving and for the person who sent you on assignments. Some people are on assignments and they come to City Hall and they come on the radio and they come on TV and they're on assignments. And the God that we serve, no matter what your faith is, will expose your true intent, your true love, your true concern. You know, I'm getting up there. I got a head full of gray. I got a grown boy. Well, he's a young man now. I'm trying to do something else with my life. But what are we gonna leave here as we just lost Watson Haynes last year?
Yes.
We lose the kings and queens every year. What are we going to leave as a legacy here? And I'm glad we honored Watson Haynes in 2020. The last time we had legacy at the center on 31st Street was 2020. And then COVID came. February was a great month. You know what February was in 2020? A month later, the world shut down.
Yeah, it's the month before.
And so I'm glad we had a chance to honor Brother Watson. But let's honor more people who are leaving a legacy and contributing to changing our community. We know who on assignment. We know the history. We know the policies and systems that the brother just mentioned. You have to decide what you're going to do.
Wow, Max. Wow.
Decide which side you on, right?
Wow.
Don't be a little man.
Wow.
Don't be a.
Yeah, we gotta work. We're working hard. And I thank you for all the work that y'all are doing over there. And also I want to talk about real briefly, if we can, the Tiger Bay, right? I think y'all just did like a big St. Pete thing, didn't you?
Yeah. I gotta switch my voice a little bit now. Jabbar played too much. So, and let me tell you something interesting. Tiger Bay, we had 2 years of COVID. Membership dropped, attendance drops, obviously. We're meeting virtually. Last year, I'm elected first African American president in 50 years. Great year, great attendance, great revenue, great vibe. So the next year, we have to hire an executive director. And the decision was made by the board of directors that they would hire me as the executive director. Almost had a flashback to Obama. Obama came in, fixed all the industry, fixed the banking industry, fixed the healthcare system. So I think that what we have to do as we move, again, move in different spaces, when we do the work and we have the gift, we have the talent, we should be paid. We should be recognized, because this is an exclusive privilege club where business, political, media, leadership meets on a regular basis. And sometimes we are not in the room. And I believe in being in the room, because if you don't have the information, if you don't have the resources, now again, Reno is going to agree with this. Sometimes you're in the room and you're doing nothing but singing and dancing and smiling and drinking 2 for $1.
I don't know how to dance.
So if you're going to be in a room, you have to be in a room and to be in these spaces to help our people.
This is true.
Not to put on a show. Smiling, dancing, laughing.
I got a show for you.
We on the radio. Jabbar said that at me.
Yeah, so I agree with JC, man. One thing, and that's why I want to help our team just really change our posture, because being in the room is one thing, but sitting at a table where food ain't being served to our community, or the season for the food, which is why we don't even eat certain food, because they ain't seasoning. So it seems like we've been at the table, but we've been not eating properly. You know what I'm saying? So when we come in the room and we prepare us our own table, then we make people come sit down and have a conversation with us. You know what I'm saying? Because when we go to their table, then we have to take out certain things that, that seems like it's going to really affect the Black community solely by itself. So we can't have stuff like that. We need to make it more broad, right? And that's what happened at the table, right? It gets more broad. You know what that means? That means it gets watered down. Less seasoning, y'all. You know what happens when we have seasoning? We don't eat, right? And so when we have our own table, we make people respect us, right? And then we have to have a conversation intentionally at these tables, right? You have to have stuff in there specifically to help Black people. There's nothing helping Black people inside the Asian crime bill. You see what I'm saying? And so there's things that get passed in law that help people specifically. And we have to have the same mindset to go after our own resources for ourselves.
Mic drop. So, in other news,
no Christian.
So yeah, y'all.
No, I don't disagree with nothing anybody's saying right here. I mean, you said I never do. Sometimes I do.
Yeah, you do.
Sometimes.
Me, especially me.
The legacy center though.
Yeah, let's go back.
I missed that part of the conversation. When is the legacy center open up on the Deuces?
Well, thank you, Reno, for being in our business. Let me tell you this.
I love it.
Let me tell you about this experience quickly. I think you all know. And I had to grow as a leader and as a minister. I thought raising $500,000 would be very easy. So we sold our building on First Avenue. We moved to 9th Avenue South, and I love being on the Deuces. I love the vibe. I love the Urban Drinking was there. Chiefs Creek was there. Manhattan Casino down the street. I love that. But after a global pandemic, while your neighbors are raising money on top of campaign season, it was extremely difficult to raise $500,000, especially with no grants. And so it's been a slow process. So this is a blessing for us. We bought the land, we own the land. The land is connected to the city's new pavilion outdoor that is opening, grand opening is coming up.
The one with
no benches.
With no benches. Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Okay, it's a little bit.
Don't worry about it. I don't have no benches on the south
Look,
side.
Let me
We got benches on the north side. Go over there.
February 18th at the Calgary Festival is gonna be the ribbon cutting and grand opening. I'm not getting involved in the benches situation because y'all know what's gonna happen on those benches if they're put there.
Hey, no, wait, hold on.
You know
That's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of we're missing accommodations in our community because people feel somebody's gonna do something on them. That is wrong. That's why we don't got no bus shelters right now. There was a campaign to take all the bus shelters up so homeless people couldn't sleep in them.
But look,
right? So now we don't have no bus shelters. We got them little benches with 2 people. Come on, we got to start doing that. We can't live like that. So now I don't have no benches, but over across town they got benches.
I don't know if that's true, but let me tell you
ain't no benches on the north side?
We can't solve housing by focusing on bus benches.
I mean, if we don't have no benches, we ain't gonna have no house.
And this pavilion,
put your money on that.
And this pavilion on 9th Avenue, but we put 20 benches there, it's not gonna solve the housing crisis. And I don't think that should be the sleeping place.
It's not gonna be a sleeping place if people have somewhere to sleep.
Drive down 9th Street and see how the benches got people living there.
That's why ain't no benches at Williams Park, because people gonna sleep on them.
Cause they're there.
Oh, I'm just saying. All I'm saying is you can't measure my community by a different yardstick. And then when you get to my community, now we missing amenities because some purpose feel somebody may sleep on it.
Right, because
you may sit on it too comfortable. He too comfortable. Get that bench out of there.
No, but I'm gonna
Get out of
say
here.
this. I think it should be benches like
A
if it's
pavilion without a picnic table or a bench. Come on, man.
How you
Come on,
how
man.
you
Where the
gonna
budget
enjoy
at?
it? How are you gonna enjoy it?
Redraw the budget.
I don't know.
You're not supposed to enjoy it. You're just supposed to see it.
First of all, I don't know if it's complete. I just gave you the ribbon cutting date. That's number one. Number two,
I hope they get a bench out there before they cut the ribbon.
I'm not the picnic table and a bench man either.
It's a bench for them scooters. They got somewhere for them scooters. They got somewhere for them scooters. Ain't nowhere for me to sit, but that scooter sitting there nice. Come on, man. Stop playing my community like that. Not in open arms, not in smile in my face. Go ahead and fold your arms and have a mean look on your eyes.
Well, let me tell you this.
Because you can't do my community like that.
I also don't think that our services should be watered down.
It is. We got a picnic table. I mean, we got a picnic area with no.
I want to see that report. I do want to see that report. I want to see the report on how many benches and tables are in North St. Now, let me tell you this, because this is how
I will tell you.
This is how it gets flipped on us. And I know we're going to say, but look, you talk about our community. What is our community? Because
that's right.
South St. Petersburg numbers are very different than they were 10 years ago. So we got black folks moving to Kansas City, Largo, Paris Park. I ain't never seen that. So it's a whole conversation around housing, jobs, et cetera. But I believe in coming to the table, hearing people's perspectives, their points, and seeing what we can do after that. But I do want to see that report that's going to come out about the benches and the tables from Jabbar.
Well, I would say this is that I've never been anywhere to a pavilion and there's not a table or a chair where you can sit down and enjoy it. Because hold on, Jabbar. Because the pavilion is somewhere where you're supposed to sit down and enjoy and have time with your friend, your family, and your friends. Who wants to stand up for 4 hours? If you're going out there,
bring your own chair.
Who is the city councilman for District 7?
Don't worry, we got it on the right.
Okay, I just want to know.
Don't worry.
But this was done prior to this was done prior.
Just chill. Just chill.
Brother John, we need benches and picnic tables. Thank you.
Please and thank you.
Please.
Hey, that's how it gets done, man. Intentional conversations are led this way. You know what I'm saying? and then for JC to get it quiet in here to say, hey, no, Brother John, this is what we do.
They had a budget meeting last week.
Yeah, ain't no benches, ain't with no tables on it. So with no benches. So in the
not green. We don't want green benches either.
No, we don't want green benches. No. Yeah. We don't want green
benches. I like
benches.
the black kind. I want the black.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And we don't want no green pictures.
Hey, we want our benches to have melanin. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say this right here. It's just a small. These are nuances in our community that people kind of overlook. You know what I mean? And it's like what's on the north side should be on the south side, and we're talking about the same city. Ooh. What was the last mayor calling this city? The city where it shine on everybody equally or some crap like that, right? It's fluff game, y'all. You see what I'm saying? Because even for us to achieve in order for us to achieve the perfect union, we have to stay this crazy, y'all. Because we don't have evidence in the 200 or 400 year history that they're going to split anything equally. You see what I'm saying? People told our grandparents, you can't even piss in the same restaurant with us. You see what I'm saying? This is real. These are you gotta think about it. These are things that's open. This is open information. This is stuff that's been written down. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black people don't trust banks and insurance companies for a reason.
Stole from us.
It ain't that black people just wake up and say, hey, I don't trust needles and I don't trust this because of nothing. No, there's things that have been done to us. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black men, we have been conditioned not to lie on our male part. Why? Because white women did for a lot of years and got us lynched for this. You see what I'm saying? So subconsciously we learned to never lie on what we do with our package. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff has been done to us and we haven't even had the time to heal each other from it, right? And then at the same time, we're still the leading force of thought in the entire world because we create and then everyone else reverse engineers what we create and outsources us in economics.
Can I say something briefly? Another thing about people who want to be rock stars or be leaders and are really little. They're little because they won't do the hard work. When you go into a restaurant, you're a dishwasher, or you cut the salary, or you do the salads before you become the sous chef or the chef. And many people in this community try to go straight to being a chef, put on a white coat. And so the work is done, and I give Jabbar and Brother John credit for this, and Brother Reno and others. The committees and the subcommittees are where these decisions are made. The committees and the subcommittees are where people come up with the theme. Do you know that last year the Junior League had meetings for their ball for the new mayor, and they came up with a circus theme?
Yep, I remember that.
What brother or sister, it couldn't be a brother because it's a Junior League or women, what sister sat in a room and knew that an African American man would be the first mayor of this city and come up with a circus theme? Again, who would sit there knowing the history in St. Pete of animals in the circus that we cannot go to the circus, that they let us come down on a special day and see the animals get off? And who would sit in a room and recommend for all the themes for a ball you can have, the honor of a new mayor and a new administration to come up with a circus theme for a black man? But it's the committee and the subcommittees is where decisions are made, policies made. And so if you want to be a star, you want to be big, go to city council meetings, go to subcommittee meetings, go to hearings. Brother John got a public hearing coming up next week in Midtown. That's what you do. Show up small if you want to be big.
Say it again, but I'll say this. Jumping off what he said, this is like, well, not kind of what he said, but it's like any other relationship. You have to pay attention to the small things. People will start to see how far they can push you and get away with stuff at the beginning. If they can get away with no benches, then look how much they can get away with. So this is why we have to be in tune and pay attention to the small things we think is small in our community that we're not getting. Because if we'll let the small stuff go, we definitely gonna let the big stuff go.
Listen, and I gotta say this, man. We gotta check our implicit and our explicit bias, bro. We cannot pretend like we haven't been affected by some of this programming, by some of these ideas. So when we be in these rooms, right, and these decisions are being made, we'll make a decision on behalf of a whole bunch of people, right, with some bias that we have personally, right, whether it be personal beef or whether it be some type of social, like, misinformation a person has.
I encourage, man, all the listeners, man, please pick up the book, The Black Tax. It helps you eliminate all bull crap, right? Because bull crap gets fed to us twice on Sundays, right, when we have conversations with certain people, right? So in essence, because of the black tax that's put on all of us in this country, really all of us in the world, understand this, that in America, based on the black tax that we have as black people, we can have 4 times the credentials of a white person who has a criminal record and still get overlooked for a job. Remember, this is data that has been already compiled. I encourage you all to read the black tax because it will eliminate a lot of blasphemous conversations that happens in our face. You see what I'm saying? People know what they're doing to us intentionally, y'all. You know, after Brown versus Board of Education, 50% of black teachers lost their job. You thought that was a coincidence. You see what I'm saying? And one thing about our wealth is it has always been attacked. It has always been under attack. I had a conversation with a St. Petersburg police officer last week, and I told him that we have to stop arresting black men in front of these corner stores when the corner stores are selling everything to the black men to get arrested. You see what I'm saying? We have to flip this. This was a Darryl Rousseau conversation about 15, 20 years ago when he was going inside Purple Haze. You see what I'm saying? It was a paraphernalia conversation that almost got him elected. You see what I'm saying? But we have to understand this, y'all, that people are sitting here helping us get slandered. There's black on black crime meetings all over this country. You see what I'm saying? And World War II cost it $4 trillion. That's white on white violence at the highest level. And we're never addressing white on white violence, but it is bankrupting America. And last I checked, all of us is in America. And if we're gonna sit around here and have this hunk and buck dance with these people about black on black violence, when again, black on black violence don't even cross state lines. It ain't no word in America about Georgia boys. When we see them, it's on site, right? When we see them Illinois boys, it's on site. So we don't even exist. It's a theory, y'all, right? But guess what do happen? White on white violence do happen. So when we went to Afghanistan, it costed us taxpaying Americans $300 million every day for 20 years. You see what I'm saying? And we've already given Ukraine a 14B with $1 billion, y'all. You see what I'm saying? And so if we can't even get reparations, we gotta stop dancing and playing with these people like this right here because it's embarrassing on all of us.
I want to say the CRA is not reparations.
No, it is not. No, it is not.
I just wanted to clear my throat.
No, it's not, and it's blasphemous for
with all the white people getting all that CRA money.
It's blasphemous to have a mayor peddling around that the CRA is. You see what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
It's embarrassing.
No, it's not.
And we can't even fight.
You can't even mention that because you got white people who feel y'all give reparations through the CRA. That's blasphemy. You can't say that.
Not that.
Why all these people tapping into that money?
Central Avenue does not look like it look right now. It didn't look like that 20 years ago, because 20 years ago, no one said, hey, when y'all put money here, we're gonna help y'all out with money from our pockets, right? But then 20 years later, you have a CRA that's established, right? And then now Central Avenue somehow seems to be, it can't stop popping a business. It can't stop popping everything. We've been here for years, y'all. That's the Skid Row of our city. Let's be clear. There's a Skid Row in LA, right? The Skid Row in St. Petersburg, Florida used to be Central Avenue, right? And 22nd Street to be exact, right? But somehow it's an art district. And y'all ain't artists because they took creativity out of y'all schools. So now all these folks coming to y'all community with art grants, right? And they having all these trampoline postures on us, right? I say trampoline, and they just jumping up and down on that thing, man, right? And then you got a mayor sitting around calling this reparations. That's not fair to the black people that consider themselves his constituents. You know what I mean? It's not fair when we sit around here in different meetings and hearing the mayor say, hey, well, you know, we already have reparations in St. Pete. It's in the CRA. That's not right. And we shouldn't be talking like that. We should be economically sitting down together and coming up and strategizing with a better way of moving, and not be afraid of having language called reparations inside of our bills.
So I like what you just did. I agree with that. Just like any great relationship, when something is wrong, you call it out, right? And then when something is good, we applaud it, right?
Yep.
And so this is like any other relationship. For it to work and for it to be beneficial to all parties, when you're wrong, you're wrong. You know, and what you said, CRA is not reparations. Period, point blank. And if you think that, then we need to say something about it.
When we was working on it, we weren't calling it that when we was working on it.
And if it's reparations, then every black person should have gotten it, right? And every black person don't.
Man, big shot on a lighter note, man. Big shots out to Valdez Scantlin, man, for taking the Chiefs to the Super Bowl, man. Lakewood High School, y'all, man. I'm just throw that out there. Man.
I love Valdez.
Proud of our home team partner, you know what I'm saying? Been doing big things, representing the city like he always has, with class, y'all. Big speed, big talent. Hey, man, let your kids look up to somebody like that one day, man.
So since you hopped on Valdez, let me tell you, he's one of the kids. When he was in high school, he wasn't the star player.
Okay.
Right? He wasn't the star player, but what Valdez did was work really hard at his craft.
That's right.
And when he started out, he wasn't like the superstar, but by his senior year, he had made his name out at Lakewood. And then when he went out to college, he wasn't the superstar there. He had to fight for his spot there. When he went to the NFL, he wasn't the top pick.
He from the bird.
Right. No, he wasn't the top pick. He didn't go first round and all that other stuff. But then he fought and made a name there. He never gave up. And you look at him right now, they were saying how good he was yesterday. And then shout out to his mama and daddy, because he's always been a respectable guy. Like, I know a lot of them kids, because Cheyenne and them all around the same age, they all hung at my house.
Hey, man, call it out, man. I have 3 adult children. My twins are 26. One of them working for Penn County Schools for 5 years now. One of my older twins are working for a store department for 6 years now. My oldest son is in New York holding on his own weight. You know what I'm saying? I have raised 3 adult children, no criminals, and we should be calling that out. You should be saying that with your chest. You know what I'm saying? When we are producing functioning adults in our community, then call it out. You know what I'm saying? Because we are addressing all the ailments in our community, right? And we're real quiet about that. We got G'd up kids and they bad as I don't know what, right? I get that. We got to address all these things in our community. But when you raising children and they ain't being a part of the problem in our community, man, I commend you. Because guess what? It's something that people ain't really talking about that much. I don't have children that's out here causing problems. Do you?
No. Hey, okay, so how can we go ahead. How can we support your church and the Legacy Center?
Well, I do want to say, Reno, my son works for a great gentleman. I mean, he works for the best city council man in St. Petersburg.
Hey, real sturdy dude.
So it's really funny to see the relationship between Brother John and my son, because, you know, when I met Brother John and you know, we all from Childs Park, and but all the Lakewood stuff y'all was just doing, Gibbs High School is the only high school in the city, and Childs Park is Childs Park. Football season is over. I'm ready for baseball season.
Talking to a pirate, but I ain't gonna say that.
Mr. Scantlин's mother is great.
Yes,
I worked on the relationship with her, and So good luck to him. But again, football season is over. I'm ready for baseball season, and
he got another game.
But wait, football season.
No,
We got the Super Bowl. You
sound like a
got
Buck fan talking.
He's old. That's fake news. Baseball season. Spring training is starting.
Yeah, it is. Go Rays.
So how can we help?
Next week. Oh, so listen, we start Friday at our land on 822nd Street South. We're gonna be with Urban Drinkery. Just gonna play a little spades, a little refreshments, just hang out.
Big spades, not little spades. Big spades.
When is it?
Friday.
This Friday with me.
Okay. I mean,
and he said, she said.
That's gonna be a little earlier, you know. Son.
I mean, all day long.
I do have to go to sleep.
Don't worry about it.
It starts at 7, but go ahead.
Well, I go to bed at 8. So,
well, you got an hour.
Yeah. So I got 45 minutes. Friday, we're gonna be together in the community. Saturday, awards dinner that sold out, of course, at the History Museum, honoring Teresa Jones, many years at the city.
Yes. Big shout out.
Will Lawson, Sheriff's Department, and Attorney Lisa Brody. Sunday, we'll be back on the property for coffee, prayer, and that's our week. We used to have a golf tournament. We scaled back some, and we have to address COVID still in flu season and be responsible. But we're just looking forward to celebrate us, and us comes in so many colors, so many shapes, so many shades, so many different experiences, and I just appreciate celebrating us.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
No, I'm with all of it. I mean, we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about the state of St. Pete, well, the state of the city,
state of
which
city,
is really right. So listen,
pull up skirt City Hall. Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Q.
No, I think when he hear my voice, it's like a chime to talk. Like
I'm DJing a pony in your voice.
I don't need a jam pony.
What is that? Life aggression?
What?
What is it called? What does he have? I don't know.
I done been diagnosed today, y'all.
Life aggression, bias. I mean,
I think when he hear my voice, it's like, oh, it's time for my turn.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
The whole show. You got good.
Thank you.
Hey, NAACP. Esther.
We gotta stop this back on back.
Oh my God. And let me tell you, I have all the evidence I need because all mine and all those things.
Just rewind.
And I got witnesses.
Okay.
Open up.
No, but today has been a great conversation, and I love to do this because one, we're opening people's eyes up, right? We have great dialogue. Most of the time, we think alike. You know what I mean? Yeah, most of the time we do. I mean, but one thing that we all do have in common is that we love our community. And we want the best for our community. And there's no right or wrong way to get there if your heart is pure about helping our community, if you're doing the work. I may do it one way, Jabbar do it another, Reno do it another way. We all take different paths to get to the same results, but we have to work together.
Hey man, I mean, we like to call it cooking in the kitchen, so we in the kitchen right now, and I just understand a long time ago that everybody don't put onions in their hamburgers, but it's still a hamburger. You know what I mean? And there's many ways of. I heard this a long time ago. It really made me back off of banging as a woke person. You know what I'm saying? On different religions. I read only a fool go around the mountain and telling people they go in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of fall back, and when we respect one another's walk, you know what I'm saying? We can give respect, and after respect, guess what comes next, y'all? It's called love. And one of the things that we have to do as a community, you know what I'm saying, is fall back and love each other. Because when we love each other, we won't let nobody do us any kind of way. And you can see the ones who love the community right now because we just happen to be out here by ourselves right now. We don't like to be called community leaders. We understand that people call us that. But I promise you, it gets greater, not later. It gets greater when we fall back and love each other, y'all.
Agreed.
Listen, I ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all be quiet like that right there, man. Closing shots, man. I just want to say, man, myself.
What was that?
It's 8 minutes left. I'm highlighting closing shots and just pass the mic right
Yeah, go.
That's always like a little tighter way. Just going back around. Charles Soprano, you want to go first?
No, Shawty Soprano is gonna go to sleep after this. Let's go. Wake up at 10:45 because you got the meeting.
My Friday just got better because my brother is doing his groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking.
I look forward to.
Oh no, we having a party.
Oh, we having a party on the Deuces, y'all. Let me tell you something. Go to the Deuces all day Friday because at daytime we're gonna be with our brother JC, and then in the evening time we're gonna do a little he say she say with the Queen. Both of them are happening at Urban Drinkery. Have y'all caught the wind yet? We keep talking about Urban Drinkery, right? Pull up. You know what I'm saying? Just pull up, and it's where the grown folks in our city go to vibe at, right? I call it out the way because the jitterbugs don't come there. I love that posture about that whole establishment, right, y'all? But peace the ancient way. I'm gonna be too long. Charles Soprano, what's going on the week, man? Closing shots.
Closing shot. Yeah, thank y'all so much for coming. JC, great event. I honored to be there a couple of times. Yeah. And then also we want to say big shots out to everybody in the city doing their thing. The Story team this weekend had a fun day that was so amazing. What are you doing? It can't hit me from there. Thank you. Nope.
On the bottom of the mic.
So yeah, thank y'all so much, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Go ahead.
Okay, a lot going on. State of the City today, raising the African American flag on the first Legacy Week, but also we got to have conversations around the gas plant decision is made. We got to have jobs for these kids in the summer, and also remember that spring training is going to be in St. Petersburg this year. So let's find opportunities to get these kids out to some games to see a sport that is seeing very few African Americans play now.
I love it. So what I was trying to tell Mr. Edmond is to pull the mic up, not to stop talking because we couldn't hear you. That's what I was saying. But no, final thoughts, right? Everything was great. We got a great week coming up, right? Thank you, JC, for coming in and telling us about the Legacy Week because I'm excited about it.
And all that other stuff.
Yep. Be the change you want to be. Write down those 5 things that made you laugh, made you smile, because life is too short. You just never know. But put the work in. This has been Kiana.
I am the one and only Mr. Edmond.
Hey, man, it's your brother Reno Moore in the building.
Baby.
And this has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
And we off at the right time.
Yep. When do y'all have y'all training? When do y'all have y'all employee staff training? Yeah, that's what you need to get the foundation to do. Have Julie come in.
What you just said at the end of the show, you just said something about something. I'm like, oh, I was waiting for us to get off the air. What's the last thing you just said?
Spring training.
Oh, read the $40 Million Slave book.
You just gave me one book about black taxes.
Oh, the Black Tax. I had all the 8 Kings order that book at the beginning of COVID. I want to get him to author that book here. You know what I'm saying? At the foundation to speak to the city. His name is Sean Humphrey.
Yes, look at that. Sean Humphrey.
It's called The Black Tax.
Yeah, get him a paper.
That
I got Black Tax. What's the one you just said?